Thank you, Prime Minister. May we now invite Senior Minister of State, Ministry of Education and Ministry of Information, Communications and the Arts, Mr. Lawrence Wong, to address us. Mr. Wong will be speaking in English and Mandarin. Mr. Wong, please.
Prime Minister, colleagues, friends and fellow Singaporeans. On the 9th of August this year, I joined our youths at the Scape Youth Park to celebrate our nation's birthday. I missed out on the mass displays and fireworks at the parade. But there was just as much energy at the youth event, especially when our young Singaporeans all stood together to say the pledge and to reaffirm their commitment to the nation. The pledge resonates strongly with all of us. Maybe it's because we grew up reciting it in school. But at a basic level, it's an expression of our values and ideals. It's a promise that every Singaporean, whatever our race, language, or religion, will strive to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for all. Singapore is still a work in progress, but we have come far in achieving these ideals. Tonight, I want to talk about achieving happiness by creating opportunities, enhancing the quality of life, and building strong communities. We have invested in our people and tried to give every child the best possible head start. Children today grow up with far more opportunities than their parents. In schools, they take part in many enrichment programs and activities in the arts, music, and sports. Some of you may know that I play the guitar. Or when I was in college, I used to go busking just to earn some extra money. But I had no formal lessons, and I had to learn how to play myself. I wish I were back in school, because at Bendemeer Primary, all students are taught not only the guitar, but also the keyboard and the xylophone. I recently got the chance to catch the students in action. And as you can see, they are really enjoying themselves. One of them said that without this program in school, he would not have had the chance to learn a musical instrument. But now, he's discovered his love for music and has in turn become more confident. Beyond our schools, we are also doing more at the ITE, polytechnics, and universities to develop the talents of each and every student. I've spoken to many young Singaporeans, and I know they have a great desire to attend university. So over the past few months, my colleagues and I have been looking at how we can expand university places for Singaporeans. We've heard you, and we are taking action. We will launch new degree programs. They will have a strong applied focus and close links with industry, and the Prime Minister will elaborate on this later in his speech. A world-class education will enable our youth to achieve success in the global economy. But we are also looking to enhance the quality of life. That's why we are investing in the arts, culture, and sports. These are important areas for us. They provide platforms for leisure, for expression, and self-improvement. As a young student, this was back in the 80s, I used to read reports of Singapore being dull, boring, and sterile. Perhaps some of you remember reading those reports too. Today, words like fun, hip, and exciting are better used to describe us. We have an exciting calendar of arts and cultural performances, and a full schedule of sports events for all to enjoy. The new Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, or MCCY, will continue to build on this to further strengthen Singapore as a center for the arts, culture, and sports. This will not only enhance Singapore's dynamism, but also add color and diversity to our lives. So I urge everyone to participate actively. Let me say a few words in Mandarin on the new ministry and some of its priorities. 大家晚上好.
Good evening, fellow Singaporeans. The new Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth will be set up in November. One key priority will be to promote arts and culture. And in particular, the ministry will focus on traditional arts and ethnic culture. The Chinese community has been a tireless promoter of culture and arts over the years and has helped to build a vibrant arts scene. Through its efforts, the community has nurtured many artistic talents, as well as enriched our lives. The government has formulated a strategy to promote traditional culture and arts, and will work closely with the community to strengthen traditional arts. The Chinese community values the cultural heritage and hopes that our younger generation will continue to appreciate traditional arts and preserve the cultural roots. This is also government's goal. Our society is changing rapidly. We have to work harder to preserve and promote traditional values such as respect for elders, sincerity, loyalty to country, a sense of gratitude. These values have lasting significance and help to strengthen social harmony and unity. Promoting traditional values is an important and long-term mission. I hope that the people and government can work together to foster a strong sense of culture and values. Thank you.
请让我继续用英语发言。
Let me continue in English.
Besides creating opportunities and improving the quality of life, it's also important to build strong communities for happiness. I once asked a friend, he's from Bhutan, for his views on happiness. And he cited a scholar from his country who said, and I quote, "There's no such thing as personal happiness. Happiness is 100% relational." In other words, our happiness is linked to the people around us, our friends, our family, and our neighbors. And in fact, many studies show that personal happiness depends on our interactions with the people in the community. This is more important than other factors like how much we earn or how educated we are. Unfortunately today, despite emails and social media, we somehow feel less connected socially. It is a paradox of modern living, not just in Singapore, but also in cities around the world. I'm sure many of us can relate to this. When I was growing up, I remember the strong bonds between neighbors in our HDB estate. When one was in trouble, the others would pitch in to help. Once, when my family was locked out of our house, our neighbors all rallied to our side. They brought spare keys to try and open the door, and a huge saw to cut through our padlock. One brave man even offered to climb through our balcony window to help us get in. And I should tell you that we lived on the 21st floor. So who says Singaporeans are kiasi? Today, you can still see neighbors greeting and helping one another in the HDB estates. But many feel that we have somehow lost a bit of the kampong spirit. So one of my priorities at MCCY is to strengthen community bonds and to widen and deepen the linkages among our people. We want to encourage Singaporeans to come forward for a shared purpose. Our role will be to empower, facilitate, and support initiatives from the ground. So if there's something you want to do for the community, if you need resources and information, we will do our best to support you. I've talked about the pledge, the ideals in the pledge, and what the government can and will do to realize these ideals. But the most important factor is not the government. Rather, it is us, we the people, we the citizens of Singapore. In the last few decades, we have achieved much. But these achievements have not been built on the back of one individual or even one community. They have been achieved through our collective efforts. So whatever our race, language, or religion, we must continue to work together to overcome the challenges ahead, achieve our goals, and build a stronger Singapore. I feel a sense of optimism whenever I meet and talk to young Singaporeans. Many are actively involved in civic causes and community projects. Like the group of young Singaporeans who felt that more needed to be done about graciousness on public transport. So they got together and they started a movement called Stand Up for Our Singapore. You can see them here, all 300 of them mobilizing. They traveled from train to train, they distributed badges and flyers, and they encouraged commuters to give up their seats to those who needed it more. And there are many others like that, who go out to help the aged, the handicapped, and the less fortunate, or who have set up their own organizations to advance causes they feel strongly about. And perhaps there's a lesson to be drawn from all this. And that is, happiness lies in our hands. We can choose to be happy when we reach out to others, when we do something worthwhile, when we serve a higher calling and purpose. So let us all participate actively in shaping our nation's future and building the Singapore we want. This is the spirit that will bind us together in spite of our differences. This is the spirit that will make us strong and help us reach further and higher as a nation. For alone, we can do little, but together, there is little we cannot do. Let's all work to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. Thank you.